Hey, welcome to the DFS Build NBA edition. I'm Kevin. That is Taylor. We're going to break down the DraftKings main slate for Friday, December 5th. If you need some help, this video is here to do just that. If you want core plays for the end of the night that are finalized before the slate locks, you can head up to dfsbuild.com and get access to those. Just $5.99 a month for those every single day, plus all the other stuff we do. Got an MMA core out for UFC 323. We got Week 14 NFL DFS content. So definitely take advantage of all that for one low rate. If you just want free advice, subscribe to the channel so you get access to every video that we do. Hit the like button as a little bit of thank you back to us. And also come join us in Discord, 100% free to come talk shop and get extra advice if you so choose. All right, let's get down to it. The way we break down the slate, we go team by team, looking at the situations that each team is facing and try to assess whether or not we want to play into ownership on certain plays and if we can uncover any gems. First game, not a gem. It is a chalky play. Austin Reeves with no Luka, no LeBron in TD Garden, 8.5-point dogs. The Lakers are, and he's 9.5K. So he has been a monster without Luka. He projects for 53 fantasy points and crazy ownership. Am I stupid to fade?
Probably. It's just like he's so good. He's so good. And he has
he's good.
Insane role. And like I know it's a bad spot. They're on a back-to-back, but Boston's also on a back-to-back. Oh,
true.
So in theory, their defense shouldn't be quite as good as usual. They're not as stingy on the whole. He's going to face Jordan Walsh, so it's not great. And he's expensive, but you can argue, given the role, he's not expensive enough. I'm going to play him. I don't know if I'm going to play him in my main lineup. It's a fucking huge slate. There are like 11 games on this slate, so it's kind of nuts.
Right. Yeah.
He's not the smash must-have he was last. He was 8,300 last night against Toronto.
Right.
So, like, not a good spot either, and he's still nuked. And LeBron was there, but LeBron's not really LeBron anymore. But, you know, he's a great player. There's not much more to say about it. He's not the must he was last night. I still think I'm inclined to play him. I don't know if I will, though, in one lineup.
Yeah. Hey, all of that sounds good. When I first saw him, I did not see his price at first. I saw that Luka and LeBron were out. I was like, okay, playing Austin Reeves for sure. I'm not making him a core play because he's 9.5K. Okay, I think he's a great play for all the reasons you said. I'm not going to go further into that, but I'm going to play devil's advocate and go the other side. On the road, back-to-back, Boston's the third best scoring defense in the league. They're very good in the paint. They're very good across the board. Like you said, they have good on-ball defenders. Like, he's the only guy there now. Like, in terms of usage, awesome. In terms of upside, yeah. But also, they could just focus on stopping him and make Gabe Vincent and Nick Smith Jr. beat them, you know? Or Jake LaRavia, whatever, what have you. So there's definitely downside here. The other thing, and the biggest factor for me, is there's a lot of good plays on a massive 11-game slate. So if 30% of the field wants to go play 9.5K Austin Reeves, I'm inclined to join them to a certain degree, but you got Giddey at 500 more. You got Denny at 200 less. You got Cade at 1,000 more. You just got all these other guys plus Jokic and so on and so forth. You can get away with an almost 10K Austin Reeves fade on this big of a slate.
Yeah, I think you can. He's not, like I said, he's not a smash like he was last night. There, you have to think about it more, but overall, he's still a pretty strong play. I do think there are other Lakers worth considering.
Sure.
I think LaRavia is fine. Small forward, power forward. No LeBron. Should see an uptick in minutes. In theory, could start. Rui on FanDuel, Rui's like 4K. So
yeah,
it's like
on FanDuel, he looks amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, on DK's 5K. So it's like, he's fine. I don't think he's anything you have to have. Bad spot for Aiden. Don't really want to deal with that. So it's kind of just those three.
No.
Reeves, huge gap, LaRavia, and then Rui.
Agreed. And again, Reeves is a very good play. I just think you can get away with not playing him. He's going to be crazy chalk. On the other side, Jaylen Brown is back. So the fun times that we had with Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, who were just absolute smashes against Wizards, that's over. That's gone now. Jaylen Brown at 9.5. I'd rather play Austin Reeves, but at the same time, you can get Jaylen Brown at 9.5 with that crazy usage rate and production he's been dishing out at a fraction of the ownership of what Austin Reeves is giving you. So that is another guy that we can pivot to if we want to. He is he's just totally fine. I don't have a problem with him. Not really interested in anybody else. The price tags for Derek White and Peyton Pritchard feel a little bit elevated with Jaylen Brown back. Neemias Queta at 5'4". Like, I think you can always play him. but I don't think that feels like a standout play on this slate, and I'm not really that into anybody else.
Yeah, it's tough at the prices. I do like the matchup. The Lakers defense is really horrible, as you would kind of expect based on their personnel, but they're pricey. I think Jalen is a good play. Like small forward's not the nightmare it was last night, though. But still very good. Like the role's pretty excellent. He's rested. The rest of the team played last night, so he should be fresh. Don't mind that. I think it's a good matchup for White. I just don't want to pay 8,200 for him with Jaylen Brown back. So
No.
Probably not for me. I think you can be pretty diligent about your selection on this slate, and you can kind of axe some games off. And this is one of the games, other than Reeves and maybe Laravia, that looks like something you can fade.
Yep. All right. Miami and Orlando, pretty nice total here. Competitive game with a 5-point spread. Tyler Hero is out, I think. Is that correct?
Doubtful. I don't know.
Yeah, so he's probably not going to play. Norm Powell is in. Orlando is not the scary matchup they once were, but they're also not bad defensively, so it's kind of tough to gauge it. But Miami plays really fast, so Bam, Norm, Wiggins, and Davion, and even Jaquez without Hero, I think are all in play. Nobody is priced up to the point that we can't consider them. But the only one that like really stands out is probably Bam, and he doesn't even stand out that much. So like, as much as I like to consider Miami usually, I'm not going to force it here.
Yeah, it's just a tough spot for Bam. Like I like the salary, but center only, that's a tough sell. Orlando's tough around the rim. So I'm not super into that. I think Norm Powell is the best play. Guard forward, 6,600, no Hero. So he should be the usage king here for Miami. Decent enough spot. Davion's always cheap, but again, point guard, a premium spot, point guard only. Tougher to get to that. Wiggins, not a great matchup for him either. Like I said, Orlando's pretty tough around the rim. So I think Powell's good. Less enthused about the rest of the Heat.
Yeah, I think Bam would just be a price and usage play. With no Hero there, I think he's in play at 7-7, but I agree, not the spot I really want to play him at. Franz Wagner on the other side. We know he likes to go take it in the paint, so honestly, not the most amazing spot for him either. Desmond Bane at 7-5, and Banchero is back. It's like a full fade for me here. Suggs is priced up too much for Banchero's return. Nobody looks great. Nobody stands out.
Yeah, I think the matchup, I know Banchero's back, but the matchup is like excellent for Bane for what he does well. Miami gives up a lot of catch and shoot threes. They play a lot of zone. They play at a fast pace. So it is a good spot for Bane. He's 7,500 though. So like we're not getting any discount with Paolo back.
Plus he's going to lose usage.
Yeah, in theory. But like if he's efficient with the usage he gets, I think he's playable. I think no one's going to play him. So like you're getting very different with Bane, I think, on this slate. So I think he's the one I'd have in my pool. I might X everybody else out. I don't really want to pay for Franz. I don't want Jalen Suggs over 7K. Don't want Wendell against Bam either.
Yeah, and that's just a good shout in general. We can start cutting things down quite a bit. Like you said, being selective, shrinking that player pool, even though it's such a big slate, but even more reason to because it's such a big slate, because we want to eliminate the options that just are not that exciting. Denver in Atlanta, Jokic looks awesome. He is almost 13K. I don't believe he's going to be 1% owned, but on an 11-game slate, he's probably not going to be crazy owned. And honestly, for an 11-gamer, not that much amazing value right now. That is surely to change, but so far, not so good. Last slate, I said, I'm not playing Jamal Murray. That was all I said about Jamal Murray, and he scored 52 real points. So maybe you never listen to me again, I guess. Peyton Watson with no Aaron Gordon. I think he's totally fine in terms of minutes and just like a low mid-range value, 5-6. I don't mind that. Cam Johnson, kind of the same thing, but I'd lean Watson. That's about it. Like, if you want to play Jokic at probably fairly low ownership and you get the value that you want, I think that looks pretty good against the Hawks, but I don't think I'll be doing it.
Yeah, it's just tough with these salaries. Like, I think in the last game he was like 13-4 and he left at some point with like an ankle thing or something in the first half, so he lost some minutes. And it's like you can't lose any minutes for a guy who's 13K. You need him to play a full allotment. You can't have a blowout. You can't have his teammate scoring 50 points. Like, he has to really get there for you.
Well, that's not going to happen again, I don't think.
That was a nuke spot for Jokic against Indiana. This is not a much worse spot against Atlanta without is Porzingis questionable? Either way, I think like he
I think
should
he's
dominate.
back, but somebody else is questionable.
Jalen Johnson questionable, but
yeah, Jalen Porzingis is questionable too, but I would imagine he'd be back.
Maybe he's not exactly known to play a lot, but
that's true. That's true.
So if it's like a Kongwu, like Jokic should cook him, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's 13K though, so it's like you don't have to play him. I think it's a better spot for Watson if Jalen is out. He's not going to have to chase Jalen Johnson all over the floor, but if Jalen Johnson's in, less enthused about Watson, still a pretty good price tag. Cam Johnson is a decent enough value, but I prefer Watson. Shooting guard only Cam Johnson. It's like 6'9", but okay. And that's it. I'm not paying 9K for Murray in a bad spot.
All right. Over on the other side, Jalen Johnson is always a good play, apparently. So certainly don't mind him. Don't have ownership on him yet. He's questionable, so we'll see what his status is going to be. If he's out, obviously Onyeka would get steamed a little bit. He's 7-6 though. I don't know. He bottomed out last game. That sucks.
7-6 against Jokic sounds pretty bad to me.
I know. So no, his price is coming up. Like none of this really sounds that welcoming, to be honest. Jalen Johnson, I think if he's in, sure, but the rest doesn't sound great.
Even then, like Johnson has a calf injury, so like there's a chance he's not even full if he plays, and he's 10K. So, like we said, on a slate like this, you can cut your pool pretty severely. So probably wouldn't Jalen Johnson either. I don't think I'd play anyone on Atlanta.
See ya, Hawks. All right, Charlotte in Toronto, 8.5-point dogs here against the Raptors, as they should be. LaMelo Ball, no longer limited. 36 minutes last game, 9.1K against Toronto here. He looks pretty good. I don't mind that at all. Miles Bridges, back-to-back duds, so he'll surely nuke at 7.6. I think if you get to Miles Bridges, it's okay, just not a priority at all. Brandon Miller, questionable. If he's out, Nipple would be back in play. Didn't really get there. It was the last game we thought he looked good. Yeah, 23. Not great. Like you said already, he's kind of like regressing a little bit, hitting the wall a tad. So unless somebody big is out, I'm going to be off the con train for a bit. Kalkbrenner's questionable. So Diabate at 4.5 could be a pretty good value. Yeah, I mean, like I like LaMelo just fine as a like discounted stud, and Diabate looks like a decent value.
Yeah, this is one of those teams I don't want to play. I think Melo, while the minutes suddenly look good again, like you never know what's going to happen with that. He could get hurt, he could suck and get benched. It's a bad matchup. Like Toronto does a lot of trapping with P&R ball handlers, so he's capable of nuking a matchup. I just don't really want to roll the dice on that. Outside of like multi-entry, I think it's fine. I think Miller is still cheap enough to play. I think he's probable. 6,400 small forward. If they're trapping Melo, that leaves shooters open. He's probably the best candidate to do some damage in that scenario. Less enthused about Knipple. Bridges, not really getting there. I think Diabate's okay, but there is better value at center already, and we could have more. So
yeah,
not enthused, but I think
don't want to give it away though. You have to hang out for the entire video to find out.
See you in an hour.
Yeah. I will say I agree with what you're saying, by the way. Like I'm not playing LaMelo over Austin Reeves. Obviously, ownership wise, you'd get massive leverage, but I just think I'm not doing that. The projection's just too far off. And the floor and ceiling lean Reeves way for sure. But I still think he's somebody I would keep in my player pool, and I wouldn't mind getting him at 9-1. On the other side are the Raptors. They all look good. The prices honestly just do not budge quickly. Ingram, Barnes, if you land on any of them, I don't have a problem with it. Barnes is my favorite. He's got the best ceiling, and he's not going to be owned. Pirtle is back. Totally fine play at 6K. As long as he stays under 6K, I don't really care that much about the minutes. If he just hovers around 30, he's totally fine. He does have a ceiling. He could smash in this spot for sure. That's probably it.
Yeah, it's a good spot. They are on a back-to-back, so that's, always something to consider. Pirtle isn't. But again, center has so much opportunity cost. I'm not crazy about playing him on this slate.
That's true. He's not super productive.
Yeah, like you're not really getting a monster ceiling most of the time with him.
Right.
I think Scotty and Ingram and Quickly are all fine. Like if you land on them, I would play it. Jamal Shed currently one of the better punts on the slate, 3,500 off the bench. That feels terrible, but he is a good per minute guy. And if the game blows out, in theory, he could benefit. So I think Shed is fine. I would like that to go away by the time lock rolls around, and I imagine it probably will.
Let's hope and pray. All right, Spurs. This is the big man. You didn't have to wait an hour, by the way. It's here. It's happening.
Yeah.
Kelly Olynyk looks pretty damn good at 3.2K. I don't care if he's only going to play 22 minutes like he's projected for. That's too cheap because they don't have Luke Cornett or Wemby. So he should start. There's a possibility they just start small to mess with everybody, especially since there's no Jarrett Allen and possibly no Evan Mobley on the other side of this game. So Jeremy Sohan is actually kind of interesting if he starts at 3.4K. But honestly, just to get it started here, like Olynyk looks amazing. I'm probably going to start it with him. You can play Fox. He's fine. I think no Garland, right, for Cleveland. So it's a little bit less of a defensive edge for them, and possibly no Mobley and Allen. So it's not as scary of a matchup as it would have been. And then the other guys are just whatever, Champagny, Keldon. I think Keldon's probably the best play other than Olynyk or Sohan here.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good Fox spot again, but the issue is he's pricey. There's a lot on this slate. Like Reeves is right there, not the same position, but I do think Fox is a good pivot away from some of the chalk. There are a lot of pivots though. Like you can get a lot of good plays at no ownership tonight. So Fox is one of them. I think Kelly and Sohan are both just excellent values regardless. I don't care who starts. Like they're both going to be in the rotation. They're both barely over 3K on DraftKings. Like they're so cheap that you can certainly play them together. But I would be cognizant of, how many combinations you get of those two with like Keldon Johnson or Harrison Barnes or Dylan Harper. Like I don't want to be scrounging around for Spurs value with like 3 spots. No. So I'd probably do a max 2 of the cheap Spurs, which is essentially everyone except for Fox on this team. And I think that kind of covers it. It's a good enough spot. Like Cleveland's defense hasn't been as good without Allen, and maybe Mobley being out boosts the other guys. So yeah, it's hard to get away from. Like it's going to be quite chalky, but Olynyk is historically a very good per minute guy. Sohan is okay, just super cheap. So yeah, fire him up.
Yeah, I would mostly go Kelly here, but I wouldn't really pair them a lot. I would play one or the other. I think Sohan's really good leverage on Kelly because Kelly's going to be mega chalk. But I agree that pairing them is fine because they'll both probably get 20, 25 minutes at least. So at that price, like they'll probably hit. There's like Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell obviously could nuke here with no Evan Mobley or Jarrett Allen or Darius Garland. So he has to look pretty good. That is a direct pivot off of Austin Reeves yet again. There's just endless pivots off of Reeves, which is why I'm interested in fading. If Evan Mobley's in, he looks good. So you can play either one of them. DeAndre Hunter's okay. Jalen Tyson's okay. His price is up, so it's like you don't have to play him. I think Lonzo Ball looks pretty good at 4.5 with Craig out or Garland out. Then Craig Porter at 3.7 off the bench. I actually don't hate it. No Merrill, no Garland, and I think they're missing somebody else as well.
Proctor is out. Max Strus is out. Okay, so you think?
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get 20 minutes at 3.7 on this slate where there's actually not that many great punts beyond the Spurs guys. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I assume we'll get better stuff. I would rather.
You assume. You just said Jamal Shed is one of your favorite punts.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think he's a better player than Craig Porter Jr. for one thing.
Unknown.
Lonzo's a good value though. Point guard, shooting guard, 4-5 should start.
Yeah. Certainly safer than Porter.
Yeah, in theory. San Antonio is a really good transition defense. They're not good in the half court with Wemby and Castle. So I think Donovan Mitchell may be the best play on the entire. Like he could score 50 points in this matchup, I think. And it's a natural run back with your Spurs value. He, like you said, is a direct pivot from Austin Reeves, $100 less, same position. Going to be less owned. So I love Mitchell on the slate. Less enthused about anyone else. If Mobley's out, I'm going to be really upset because I don't want to play like Naquan Tomlin and Jalen Tyson, but I might.
And yet you will.
Yeah. But I love Mitchell. I think he's an awesome play. Never playing.
Yeah, I agree, man. How owned do you think he's going to be relative to Reeves? You think he's going to be like? Think they're going to split it up there, or you think he's going to be way less owned?
No, he should be like half its owned. I don't think they're going to come close to splitting ownership.
What if Mobley's out?
If Mobley's out, then maybe. But with Mobley in, I don't think Mitchell's going to get a lot of steam.
I gotta think people are just like really leaning into the Reeves thing, which again, rightfully so. He is he's not a smash spot, but he has a smash role. He averages like 41 points per game without Luka. So it's ridiculous.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. Donovan looks really, really good. With or without Evan. I always like Denny, but I don't think I want to play him today. I think he's a good pivot away from Reeves, and the price is fine. But at Pistons against a good Detroit defense, it's not really the best time to pay for Denny on an 11 gamer. I think he's going to be unowned. So almost a 50-point fantasy projection with gaining leverage in the same price range. I think that's in play. Like I'll keep that in my player pool for sure. That's probably all I want to do here. Like Kamara is fine. Like that's a decent low mid-range play at 5'8". Jeremy and Shadon, they're okay. I think the only thing I'd really want to do here, I guess Caleb Love is an okay punt at 4-1. Got to see who misses for this game because Klingon is questionable, Chris Murray's questionable, Time Lord's questionable. What happened last time? Did Klingon just end up playing when we were considering Hansen Yang?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So, if all those guys are out, Hansen Yang.
I think Robert Williams. Isn't Robert Williams, is he 9? Oh, he's questionable. Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yes, I mean, hey, let's keep the dream alive.
Yeah, we can dream. It's a really bad spot for any big for Portland, unfortunately. So keep your dreams in check.
Not for the Chinese Jokic, as you said.
Yeah,
so
he is Chinese Jokic. We have Jewish Jokic, Danny Wolf, Derek Queen. I don't know what you call him, Queen Jokic.
Danny Wolf smashed. Danny Wolf.
I'm glad we got a Danny Wolf retribution game last night after he burned us a couple weeks ago. Portland's like not in a good spot. I think Avdia is overpriced for the matchup against Asar Thompson. I think Sharp is a pretty good value, 63 guard forward, but again, not a great matchup. I don't mind playing him just because he is underpriced for the usage he gets. Grant, similar story, like it's fine. Revenge game, Jeremy Grant, anyone. But yeah, not psyched. I do like how Avdia has point guard small forward, but hard to get there.
Jeremy is actually pulling ownership, so that's a no thanks. It's just I don't like playing guys against Pistons. It doesn't really work out very often. That said, on the other side, overlooked Cade at home against the Blazers. That looks pretty good. That's another guy where I'm like, okay, Austin Reeves does look good, but I can just go pay $900 more for a Cade when he's not going to be owned. So that's appealing. Duran against the Blazers, don't have a problem with that. That's totally fine. Don't love his minutes, though. So I feel like, he's a little bit shakier than I want for a guy who's 7-7. So I'm not going to really do it that much, but I think he's in play because he does have a ceiling. Mazara at 5'5", that looks pretty good. I don't mind Tobias at 5'1". Just guys, like if you get there, if that's the last guy in, nothing wrong with it. But Cade at 10-4 Cade against the Blazers at probably very low ownership. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, it's a horrible matchup for Cade, but he's a stat stuffer. He can do anything. I don't mind it. I played him the other night, regrettably, against Milwaukee in a much better spot. But he's going to get Kamara, great defender, kind of takes away what he does well. Portland overall is not great against pick and roll, but Kamara himself has been kind of a neutralizer. So I'm not psyched about Cade. I can see why you play him, though. I'm not psyched about anything. I think Jaden through shooting guard minutes have come up. He's playing around 20 now. He is a good usage per minute guy. So I think you can do worse among punts. He's not on the same level as Olynyk or Sohan, but you can guys on that. I think ours okay. I think it's okay. It's just nothing I'm super excited to play.
Totally fair. All right, Utah played last night. They could be very tired. Nurkic missed last night. We got Kyle Filipowski chalk. He smashed. That could happen again tonight.
So much for
And if it
Oscar
does-
Tshiebwe. That did not quite come to fruition, sadly.
No, that sent me scrambling because
Yeah.
because he was 3K. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to build around this, and I loved what I was getting, and then I had to adjust. But Filipowski is still forward center eligible, which is really useful. His price did not go up that much, 5.3. That's still cheap enough for me to do if Nurkic is out. If Nurkic is in against the Knicks, it's not amazing. Like, it'd really be just more about the savings and the role with Filipowski. Ace Bailey is dead to me. He had 5 fantasy points and weighed down my best team last night, so that sucked. Lowry at Madison Square Garden, that could be interesting. I don't hate it at 8-1. Wouldn't be shocked if him or Keontae end up sitting, though, because this is just what Utah does. But honestly, the big thing is just Nurkic. If Nurkic is out, I like Filipowski. If he's in, I'm kind of staying away.
Yeah, I think Utah might lose this game by 100 points, so I'm not excited to play any of them. It's a good, like, we've talked about
bad.
the Knicks with Robinson, just like stingy interior defense that allows a lot of catch and shoot. So it's a good spot for like Keontae, Ace Bailey, Walter Clayton, if you want to really
Lowry.
scrounge around with punts. Not as psyched about Lowry at that salary in this spot, so kind of the guards for me.
He's like baby Dirk, man. He can get hot.
Yeah, I just don't see any reason. Like, they're a huge underdog. It's not a good matchup.
They're 16 point dog.
Yeah, pass.
All right.
And
so on the other side, you got Cat, who's still not 10K, unowned. Brunson, still not 9K, unowned. OG questionable if he's back. Hart would lose his luster. If he's out, Hart would be okay. The blowout risk seems real. So I'm not like that excited to go pay for Cat here, but it's also a spot where he could absolutely smash. So I think you need to keep him in play. I think he looks pretty good. Brunson is totally fine. I'm not probably going to get to Knicks that much.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of points. So you're banking on the team that's going to find success. They don't have Tibbs anymore, so they're not going to play 40 minutes in a blowout, sadly, probably.
Right. No.
Individually, like you said, Brunson, Towns, fine. Utah's last in turnovers and allow a lot of catch and shoot, which is great for both Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, but they are expensive. Bridges is cheaper, actually, but still kind of priced up. I think OG is questionable, so if he's in, these wings for the Knicks are like not really on my radar. If he's out again, I think Bridges and Hart are viable. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson, if you want to punt, whatever. Not really ever into it. I don't think I've played him all year, but viable in matchup if he starts.
All right, Indiana in Chicago. This is a nice total and a 4-point spread. Kind of a game that might go a little bit overlooked just because there's a lot of clear plays on this slate. Siakam's price has come way down. He looks pretty damn good at 8.5K. Going to be interesting to see what his ownership is. I like Matherin's price now too. Good roll under 7K, really good spot. He is definitely going to go overlooked, I would imagine, because there's a clear play. Colin Gillespie and Kevin Porter Jr. We'll get to both those guys, but they are basically the same price, and they're going to be way more owned. He looks like a great pivot against either one of them. Andrew Nembhard price went down. He's only 6.1. And then if Jay Huff starts again against Vooch there at 5.2, that's an okay value as well. Not racing to play Huff, but Siakam, Matherin, and Nembhard look pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, this is an awesome game. Like, neither team protects the paint at all. Chicago doesn't allow a lot of threes, so not a great spot for like Nembhard in theory, but overall, for what Indiana wants to do, the Bulls will give it up. So like Siakam is a pretty good mid-range play. I don't think anyone's really going to be on Matherin, like you said, it's getting cheaper. TJ McConnell, or like he's always the same play. Just hope he gets there in 17 minutes, which he can do. Jarris Walker, if he starts, is cheap with shooting or small forward, power forward. Don't mind that. Yeah, Jeff, 5.2. I think that's okay also.
Yep.
Indiana just looks good all around. I hate Indiana, but I'll play him tonight.
Never thought we would actually like Indiana. The other Bulls, Giddey, 10K. That's another leverage play on Austin Reeves. Don't think he's going to be very owned, but that is a smash spot at home. Never hate Giddey. he's always a good play, it seems. He can really stuff the stats for sure. Vooch at 7-7. I feel like he just never gets it done when he's in a smash spot, but this is a smash spot. If you want to pay sub 8K Vooch, you can certainly do it with confidence. Got to keep an eye on the statuses of Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White. If they are out, we could be looking at Javon Carter season, but only kind of. Buzelis at 6-2. Like, honestly, you could talk me into any of the Bulls. Giddey obviously stands out the most. Vooch, though, projects pretty darn well here. I'm afraid. Talk me into Vooch because he's been burning me.
Yeah, well, Indiana does not protect the rim. Their centers are all 6'5", so it's a pretty good spot for Vooch. He's I think I'd rather play him than Bam at the same salary just for the game environment.
Oh yeah.
He hasn't really shown consistent ceiling, like you said, and a pretty low floor, but should be in a good spot here. I think Giddey is obviously the best play if you can get there. Yeah, I feel like playing some of the Indiana stuff, running it back with one of those two Bulls is pretty good. I think Kobe is limited, so it's 7-5. That's a tough sell. The rest of the team is kind of avoidable. Like, I think Ayo is okay if he's in, but he has gotten more expensive. Yeah, he's kind of priced up. So really Giddey and Vooch, and then I'm not super into the rest of Chicago.
Yep, pretty much agreed there. All right, Phoenix against the Rockets. They are 12-point dogs with no Devin Booker and no Jalen Green. Grayson Allen is back. Yay. Dylan Brooks, and Colin Gillespie will run this offense. Gillespie projects the best. I don't have a problem with Gillespie. He's been really good. I do have a problem with the matchup and the spread, though. So it's not the same as Reeves, because Reeves obviously is way safer. But like, it's just like, if you want to play Gillespie at 6'9" in this role with those guys out, I think it's okay. I think he's a good play. But if he's going to be chalky, I'm definitely going to look for ways to get off of that.
Yeah, I think this is probably the worst chalk on the state, like Colin against Houston on the road. This game could get very ugly very quickly for Phoenix. Yep. So I'm not really getting there. I see why you'd play. Like, he's been very good, and he seems like an actual player. Like, it's not a meme or anything. So right. I think he's not like a horrible play. I just think if he's owned by a quarter of the field or something, that's something you get away from on an 11-game slate. Dylan Brooks gets all the usage without Devin Booker, like 40% this season, so it's kind of insane. But I think Houston is going to be well aware of that. True revenge game for Dylan Brooks. Like, motivation is never an issue for Dylan Brooks, but not exactly cheap. I would play him as Gillespie leverage. Like, he's going to be a fraction as popular as Gillespie, so I think it's okay, but full fade on everyone else here.
Yeah, man. Agreed. I think I had a Gillespie in the core to start, but I might go away from that, or just at least add, further context as far as like where I'm at on him. Like, I think he is a good play, but this game is at risk of blowing out. And I think at that price, like, you can probably get away with Colin Gillespie not being in your lineup at that price. There's other plays. Like I said, Mathurin, I think Matherin's a great leverage. I think Dylan Brooks is a great leverage too. So even Grayson Allen, I guess, if he's not going to be limited, he could nuke. The prices are not like really what you want in such a bad matchup. On the other side, Houston, Şengün is always in play at 9.5K against Mark Williams. I don't think you'd have a lot of trouble there. I guess the question would be, do you want to pay 10K for a guy that might not play the full game? KD is fine. Amen is fine, but Amen's just not really been getting there with KD around, so I don't really want to pay 8K for him. Reed Shepherd's price has come down, so I think in terms of value, like 5-6 for Reed Shepherd and the role he's had, I think that's an okay play. It's probably where I'm at, but like, in the name of all these punts we're talking about, Steven Adams is in. So 4K Steven Adams, 20 minutes, decent per minute guy. I don't hate that.
Yeah, Şengün got the midday downgrade to questionable with an illness today.
Oh, okay. So that changes things.
We could be looking at more usage for K Revenge and Amen. Reed Shepherd in theory as well. And then Adams and Capella would be splitting center minutes for the most part, I assume. Neither of those guys is going to play a lot. They like maybe 24. Like if they split it down the middle, they can probably both handle that. But they'd both be pretty good plays. The issue is
Yeah.
Olynyk might be a better play. But if Olynyk is like way more owned, you can always pivot to these guys if they're not if they don't have Şengün.
You could always pair them too.
I would not pair. Oh, you mean Olynyk? This guy?
Yeah.
I would not pair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play Steven Adams and Clint Capella together.
KD is shooting guard, small forward, 8,100. I think that's pretty good. But
yeah, if Şengün is out,
Şengün's
dude. I mean, I did not catch that. I missed that Şengün was downgraded, questionable. If he's out, all these Rockets are in play. Literally everybody. Well, not Josh Okogie.
Not Jae'Sean Tate, but yeah, maybe.
Not Jeff Green, but KD would be too cheap. Amen would be too cheap. Reed would be probably too cheap. And then one of these centers, yes, sign me up for that. And by the way, though, if that is going to be the case, that's what happens, then I'm not that worried about the blowout. And now I'm more interested in the Suns guys again.
Yeah, more so Brooks, I think. I just think Gillespie is, I don't know, 7K, not into that.
Oh, there's no doubt we're getting a double revenge game here with KD and Dillon. Yeah. Two of the most spiteful guys that exist in the NBA, you know? All right, moving on here. Clippers against the Grizzlies. Clippers sure looked like they were relieved. Spry. Like they were good against the Hawks, of course.
Really hated Chris Paul's.
They really hated Chris Paul. They really did. Harden looks pretty good here. His price came down inexplicably, and this is a really good spot. So love him at no ownership. Yep. Kawhi, Zubats, they both look really good as well. I'm not going to mess with the value, but the top three guys for the Clippers are all a little bit too cheap and in a really good spot. Blowout risk, but they look good.
Yeah, Memphis has been a lot better defensively with Edey. So it might be a bit deceiving. Their overall numbers are bad, but Edey is actually a difference maker in there. So it's okay. I think Kawhi always has upside. He's still in the 8K, small forward. Pretty good usage. Minutes are still a work in progress, but he should be on the rise. I do like the Harden salary. That's pretty appealing at 9.2, even in this spot. And that's it. I'm not really getting the Zoo. Like, there are a lot of 7,700 centers on this slate, apparently. Not super psyched about him. But yeah, I think Harden and Kawhi are playable.
No, I agree. Zoo against Edey isn't that exciting. I would imagine, though, like Kawhi is more a mid-range guy and Harden's pretty perimeter-based. So, like, I would imagine they can work around Edey's impact on the defense because, like, not a lot of the other guys are that scary for this matchup. So, plus they're discounted. Like, Kawhi's price hasn't moved. Harden was pushing 10K. Now he's like almost 9K. Like, I'm willing to just bet on it. Plus, it's a 1-point spread. Are they really still thinking the Clippers are this bad? I don't know. But on the other side, Edey's 7-4. JJJ never does anything. He's 7-1. I don't see anything, once again, on Memphis that makes me want to click.
Yeah, Coward is pretty cheap, but no.
Like, Edey, his projection's okay, and like he's shown a ceiling, but Zubats is not a guy I like to go against very often. All right, last game of the night, we do have Tyrese Maxey, another guy who has a really high ceiling, no Embiid, and he could be pretty low owned because of all these other guys that we're talking about that are going to get attention. I don't know if I'm going to get there at almost 11K with so many good plays on this slate, but he put up 86 fantasy points the last time he played the Bucks, so we can't ignore that. He's definitely going to be in the pool. Paul George at 6.5. The minutes projection feels bad, and nothing else here is that good looking. It's Max your bust.
Yeah, I might fully fade Philly. It's
fully fade Philly.
They're on a back-to-back. I don't know. Not great salaries. Maxey, sure. The rest of it can go away.
I agree. All right, lastly here, we'll wrap things up here with the Bucks. No Giannis. Kevin Porter Jr. looks like one of the best plays of the slate. 6.6K, 41-point fantasy projection. I love KPJ. If you're talking about chalky guys who project really well and look good, and a lot of people are going to play, this is the one that I don't mind playing into ownership. Ryan Rollins has leverage. Sure. Ryan Rollins with KPJ. I don't hate that, actually. I think that's okay. I would imagine the usage is going to be pretty concentrated on those two guys. And if you want to go get Kuz, Miles, Bobby, I won't hate you, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I mean KPJ is an awesome play. It's a really good matchup for a PNR ball handler against Philly without Embiid. So I get it. I'd much rather play him than Gillespie. He's cheaper than Gillespie also, which is useful. Point guard only, don't love that. Rollins is pushing 8K. Like I see why you like the minutes are going to be very safe for Rollins. It's just like, do I really want to pay 8K for Ryan Rollins and KPJ? Like, I don't know. Leverage play, certainly fine. And that's it. I'm not playing anyone else on Milwaukee.
Yeah, realistically, it's just KPJ. And then the nice thing is we do have 4 of these 8 p.m. games to close out the slate. So it's not like you're looking at one chalky hammer piece to end the night. And because that never feels comfortable, does it? Like playing one guy from last night's Pels game and just like hoping at 20% ownership, it like is the winning call. Anyways, that does it for us. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, talking through all the matchups and the top plays. If you want finalized core plays, hit up dfsbuild.com, just $5.99 a month for that. And if you just want free advice like these videos or Discord, we got our free Discord linked below, and you can just subscribe to catch these videos in the future. And also throw a like our way. It helps us out quite a bit. And drop a comment if you have a specific question for the slate. Thanks for watching and good luck.